So, we're all in, yeah, Kurt?
Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match reaction. This replaces a post-match pint, of course, on a weeknight. We've just been to the London Stadium. It was West Ham, Stoke. West Ham 1, Stoke 1. Dan, I'll let you go through the starting lineup.
It was the same as Chelsea, yeah, pretty much. No Chicharito.
No Chicharito.
Chicharito. Why did I say
No Chicharito.
Chicharito. No Chicharito. The little P. Which is what everyone wanted, is what I'm saying to you. No Chicharito.
I was surprised he didn't start, to be fair. Honestly, I thought he was going to start tonight. But he's gone with the same team.
See, I don't think that was the right call. Myself, I mean, you're playing Stoke at home, they're vulnerable, they ain't won a game away for fuck knows how long, and you're going in as defensive as you do against Chelsea. I don't understand his mentality sometimes. I don't understand the formation at times. I think, you know, working from a 4 is a lot better, as it showed. I'll let you talk.
No, but do you know what? Look, I'll appreciate what Moyes has done since he's come in, but I think tonight proved why he can't take West Ham forward. Because when you've got players like Hernandez on the bench that they're screaming out at the start, he will score your goals, and he's just leaving him on the bench all the time. And now we've been crying out for a striker like him for how many seasons? We've got one. We've got him at a good price as well, 16 million. And now in the summer he's going to want to go. You can see he's not happy, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not happy, is he?
Nah, you can tell. Like, he's come here and he was probably made all sorts of assurances. You're going to be the star man of the team, game time, all of that. And he's come here and he's got none of that. And he's got a decent goal scoring record for us. When you look at minutes played and stuff like that, and he still don't get a chance.
I think a foreign manager will appreciate him more. If that makes sense, you know, because when you've got players like Lanzini, Arnautovic, Hernandez, someone can make them click. And when they click, they will score goals. But if they're not getting time together on the pitch, because now Carroll's back, I mean, you can see what's going to happen over the next few weeks. Carroll's going to go straight in front of him, and Hernandez must be sitting there thinking, what more have I got to do?
Yeah, what am I doing here? And that's probably what he's thinking. In terms of the way we play, I mean, we slow the ball down a lot. We ain't got a lot of creativity in midfield. The game was a very frustrating one tonight because I thought we'd done really well.
I think tonight that game summed up our season, exactly what our season's been like. I mean, we could have walked out here 4-1 winners tonight, but things have gone against us. And then when we were sitting there, weren't we? We were saying we can see them nicking a goal here, and then they nick one, and then you think, oh, but look, we come back, we got a point. Like you said on fan cams, it's a better point for us than it is them, but it doesn't guarantee us safety. Now we've still got a lot of hard work to do over the next few weeks, starting Sunday against Arsenal.
Yeah, Joe Hart again. Man of the match last week, you know, absolutely outstanding. A few were criticising him for the goal last week. I've looked at it back and I don't think there's much he could have done. But tonight, I mean, spilt one right into the path of Crouch, and Crouch is that experience to follow it in.
But it seemed like Crouch had like loads of time to actually, he didn't have to like react quick. He had loads of time to go, oh, all right, yeah, I'll tap that in. It's like Joe.
It's one of them things where the defenders are just expecting him to, it's bread and butter,
well,
isn't it?
I haven't seen the replay yet, but I don't know whether he had a defender in front of him, so he's seen it late. Look, Joe Hart's an international goalkeeper. He should be doing better than that. We know that. But we haven't had a consistent goalkeeper for so long over here, have we? Like last season, you had Adrian and Randolph battling it. One would do good 1 week, one would be dropped. Same again this season. I mean, what does he do now? Does he chuck Adrian back in against Arsenal? Maybe play him because he can't play against City.
You can't keep on chopping and changing, though. I mean, it does no one any favours. They're looking for that boost of confidence for the first couple of weeks, you know. I want back in now, and it doesn't even always work like that, you know what I mean? You can't keep on chopping and changing. I think in the summer, and this is if we stay up, you can't tell it with certainty that we're going to stay up. But I think in the summer, once we... You know, there needs to be a max. There's lots and lots of work.
If there's money to spend and Stoke go down, I'll be going after Jack Butland without a doubt. I mean, there's bigger clubs going to go for him. He's probably going to be England's #1 in the World Cup, so it's going to be tough. But he's one player I'd definitely look at. We need a consistent goalkeeper. We need consistent defender. We need consistent midfielders. We need consistent strikers. They've got a big job here in the summer. It's going to be probably the biggest summer in our history if we stay up. That is.
Yeah, they've absolutely got to spend. I mean, before.
I don't think it's about spending. I think it's getting the right players.
Yeah, but to do that, we're probably going to have to spend. And but before we sell players, like, because this is what they do. They go, right, let's have a massive clear out. Now we're going to start to buy people, and then, oh no, we can't find these players. Now we're short-staffed in the player department.
A few people on fan camps tonight were saying that we weren't that good. I thought we played all right. I thought, on another night
we pounded them, right?
Yeah, and we've seen teams do that to us this season, and we've nicked a little result against them. So it's swings and roundabouts in it. But I thought, Stoke, I'm not going to criticise Stoke too much because I thought they come in and they've done a job.
They're very organised. They're very professional in what they do. They know what they're doing.
Team.
Yeah. No, I thought we played. I thought we played well. It was just that bit of lack of creativity
and the creativity and the quality in that final third. That was what's frustrating. We done well getting the ball down there. Once we got the ball down there, it's like we ran out of ideas. You know what I mean? And we, like I said in the first half, I think they actually had more shots on target in the first half than us.
The Hernandez sub should have happened around the 60th minute. Give him a little bit longer, 30 minutes on the pitch, because as soon as he come on, you can see he was looking for that little 1-2 with an out of each, looking for little flicks around the corner. I think some of our players are not on the same wavelength as players like that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
He looks for them little flicks, and apart from an out of each, the others are just looking like, well, what do we do here?
Yeah, where do we run?
I mean, Mark Noble, look, you know me, I like Mark Noble. Tonight, you're right, he does slow it down a bit, but look, I'm not going to criticise him too much because I thought he was excellent against Chelsea and I thought he was excellent against Southampton. So, he's a key player for us in these last few games.
A bit off the ball today. I thought
there's a few of them.
Yeah, there was a few of them. Sloppy mistakes. I mean, good. I thought Zabel was really good today. The Chiarte, I thought he made some great tackles. Rice, obviously, once again, another great performance.
I was just about to talk about him.
1-on-1, wasn't it? It got to 1-on-1, and I think they beat
Dun
Cresswell over, and then he went smooth as you like.
I watched him and Ogbonna today. Ogbonna's positioning is like unbelievable, and you can see the way he talks to Declan Rice, and Declan Rice is learning from some good defenders. Declan Rice, unbelievable once again. I mean, that boy's got a massive future. I said it on the social last week. I hope it's with us because I can see some big teams sniffing around for him.
The thing I like about Declan, I think, he's so composed on the ball. He brings the ball out. He's not scared to ask for the ball when people are in tough situations. He brings it out beautifully. He gets up and down. When you're playing in a free, you can afford to do that. But also, he seems to be that player that can read the game a little bit quicker than anyone else.
I think Jamie Redknapp summed it up perfectly the other week. He's like a young John Terry. When you watch him, the way he plays, and you're right, he's like he's got an older head on his shoulders. He reads the game well, and that just it's good for us. And I just really hope we keep him because I think there'll be a few bigger teams sniffing around him.
I think he's more like a Rio Ferdinand type, I think, and to be honest with you, in defensive work, he might not be as accomplished coming out with a ball as Rio was, but I think defensively, I think at his age, I think he's a lot better than Rio was defensively.
Yeah, absolutely, and like. I just hope.
And look what Rio went on to achieve. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's hope like
with us.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope, like Ryan says, it's with us. And I think like we've got a real good core of players, some real good players there. We just need to add a few more quality players and a new manager. Yeah. I'd say.
Everyone fully fit. We've got a good starting 11. It's just the squad that lets us down. Like today was our strongest bench we've had for how many weeks? We've had kids on the bench the last few weeks, but look at that bench tonight. Carroll, Lanzini, Hernandez. He brought all three of them on and it changed. I mean, Andy Carroll, that was a great finish by Carroll.
Yeah, it was.
Great finish. Seeing he ain't played since January, it's his first game back. When I see him go down in that box after 30 seconds, I thought, his legs are gone.
But I still think it's time to move him on in the summer, because he has them sort of hero moments every season, didn't he? Everyone forgets and goes, yeah, Andy Carroll. But
he'll break down next week, won't he?
Yeah, you don't mind him having them hero moments as long as we've got other quality players around him.
The thing is with him, I mean, he's a great player to have. He's a great player to have around the club. He's on his days unplayable, and he's got them moments of magic that he produces every now and then. I mean, that's a great finish tonight. And then you go and have a look at the goals he scored against Palace, the hat-trick he scored against Arsenal, you think, that is the best of Andy Carroll. And he's not one of them players as well that needs to bed in, is he? You know what I mean? He comes back in and he looks like he's been playing all the time and he always gives his all. That might be his problem. But the problem is with him, he's £100,000 a week and you can't afford to have him for a dozen games a season. You know what I mean? When, you could have someone at half the price who's maybe not... Rondon, for instance, someone like Rondon, yeah, I would say Carroll on his day is a better player than Rondon, but Rondon's fit for the season, and he'll probably cost half the money.
He won't be if he comes here. You know that for a fact. But no, you're right. Carroll was an expensive person to have just sitting around the club for half a season doing nothing, and he's been doing it since he's been here. Since when did he sign here? 2012. So you're talking 6 years now, yeah. You know, and he's never
If he's played 100 games, I'd be very surprised.
He's never scored more than 10 goals in one season as well. You know, but saying that, not many of our strikers have done that, have they? So.
He's a tough one. He's a tough. I'd like to see him go, but with a heavy heart.
Yeah, it would be tough to go because he's given us some great memories and some big moments. But when we keep hearing about this whole financial fair play and we've got a wage cap and whatever this, if
someone's draining the wages who ain't playing, is you know, it's a big. It ends up working against us, doesn't it?
Exactly. So it's despite how much money you've got to spend on actual transfers, you've got to think of wages. Free up them wages, we can bring in other players, and that'll free up a lot of money on the wage bill. So I think that's what we've got to do, really.
Look, we've got to survive. We've got some tough games coming up. Have we got a bit of a danger of getting dragged back into this?
Do you know what? I think going to Arsenal on Sunday, it's a good time to play them because obviously they've got their head on the semi-final of the Europa League now. They've got a tough game against Atletico Madrid, 2 games against them. So, but Arsenal have got a good record against us. We've won there once in the last 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is. We need, if we're going to win on Sunday, then we have to match them. We have to play football, and I would start Hernandez. I can't. If he starts Andy Carroll on Sunday, then I think we're going to lose.
Yeah.
But then I'll say that and he'll probably get a hat-trick now. But no, I'd rather go with Hernandez to play football on the floor against Arsenal because they're not on a great run of form in the league. But they haven't won. I don't think they've won away from home in 2018, but they've got a great home record and they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, it is going to be a tough game, and we've got some tough games coming up. But you can't ask for better times to play them. I mean, City's just won the league. Yep. They might come here in a bit of holiday mode, you know what I mean?
United just lost to West Brom. We've got them on a Thursday night. Everton, we know what Big Sam's. We don't want it to go down to Everton for us to have to stay up. But
there's a game where you can go there and get 3 points as well. It's going to be tough. I just think that looking at it, I think Southampton and Stoke, I don't think they've got enough in them to get out of that. I think Swansea have just about. I think Palace beating Brighton at the weekend was massive for them. I think Swansea get another couple of results. I think we'll get points where we don't expect them.
But Stoke, if they go away and play like that again, this is the time. This is what I hate about this time of year, because you can't predict it, because you get people like West Brom going away to Man. I mean, the freak results really start to come out this time of season, don't they?
Well, yeah, and that's it. Now they're only 4 points behind. So if they went and won all their games, they might be able to stay up. But it is hard to predict. West Brom, they're
not 4 points behind no one.
They was 3 points behind Stoke because they went on to 24 points. Right, okay. Stoke was on 27.
You've got to look at who's outside the relegation zone, not who's on the edge.
Swansea are 5 points clear of Southampton, didn't they? So, yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them unless they get a run there. They have to win every single game, which I can't see. They've got some tough fixtures coming up, but. Listen,
things have happened. You never know.
West Ham just have to worry about West Ham. That's all we have to do. We can't rely on other results now. If we go to Arsenal and get a point, and then who do we play in? Man City the week after. Oh, don't get any easier.
How many points do we need then to stay up? Like, what do you reckon?
I think another 3 would do it.
3.
But
I'll be honest. What are we on now? 38?
35.
No.
35.
Is it 35?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. I wish it was on 38.
Right. So yeah, 35. Another 2 points, maybe another win. Yeah, I think 38 would be enough. I think even 35 would be enough, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, but them freak results do come out. Should we leave it there?
Yeah.
One more thing before we go. Massive rebuilding job to be done here in the summer. How are they going to undertake this? How's it going to go? How can you see this swinging?
What do you mean, the squad or the stadium?
Everything. I mean, everything.
Like mate, it's the biggest summer in our history if we stay up. Listen, the protests this year, and the board know. You know, the fans ain't going to stand for it anymore. They've had I think they've had a little bit of a touch, really, over the last couple of weeks because of the results. But if we start losing, if we lose to Arsenal and then come here and get pounded by City, people will start looking over their shoulders.
I think because of the predicament we're in, if we'd have been a few more points ahead, I think they would have seen a lot more fierce opposition this season. But because of the predicament we're in, and what happened against Burnley and all that stuff, I think they thought to themselves, the fans. I mean, we've got to get behind the boys. We've got to make sure they're safe. If they go another summer like the one we had before, this place, regardless of who we're playing, the results or whatever, this place will be a nightmare, to play.
They have to spend, mate. They can't hide and say there's no money there. We've had 2 years here now. You know, they've got to start spending. If not, it'll be a lot worse than what happened here against Burnley.
Too right. I think first thing we need to sort out is the manager situation, the director of football, whoever they're getting, hire them, get them in place, and then start to really work on them.
That's the main thing they've got to start with. There is the manager, because if it is Moyes, then announce Moyes. Like as soon as we're safe, give him the deal. If it is the man, if not, go your way, let him take his bonus, and then get in someone. I mean, we're linked with Marco Silva. I don't really see the fascination with Marco Silva. He struggled at Hull, and then he got sacked at Watford halfway through the season.
Like, I know he's at Newcastle, but I think
He's done wonders with him, mate.
yeah, if we can say to him, look, like, we'll buy you out, we'll give you a good wage, we'll give you what you want. I think he still feels a certain kind of sort of something towards
debt
in a way, because he couldn't take the job because of Real
It's
Madrid.
hard to get him away from Newcastle though, because Newcastle, you know, they've done well this season. They've done well because they've still got Championship players, really, and they've done really well. And yeah, Rafa would be a good chap. Pellegrini, Mancini. I like the Fulham manager. You know, I like him. But if Fulham don't come up, then take a punt at him, or go all out English. Go for Eddie Howe. Go for someone like him.
Yeah.
I think he'd jump at the chance to come and manage West Ham.
All right, we'll talk about this a little more in depth in the next few weeks, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Before we go, FBAs.
FBAs, yeah, it's still open, isn't it, the voting?
Yeah, it's still open.
Yeah, the voting's been extended by a couple of days. Yeah, probably. The FBAs, they're coming up. Please vote for us in the FBAs.
I'll put something in the comments section. I'll pin it to the top so you can follow that.
Yeah, and yeah. So if you can vote for it, we'd be very much appreciative. We're trying to win an award. We won an award before we die, don't we? Surely.
Don't go on forums and ask for votes, Nicky.
No, definitely don't do that. Don't go on forums.